Hi everyone, Gnev here. After years of playing on private Wrath of the Lich King servers, my big shot finally came a few days ago with the release of Wrath Classic, and I'm proud to say that after nearly 26 hours of non-stop play, I achieved my goal of becoming both the first level 80 Mage and Blood Elf on my server. So in this video I'll share my journey with you guys, how I prepared for it, the tactics I used, the ups, downs and the losses of sanity I had along the way, as well as eventual triumph. So without further ado, let's begin with what I did to prepare for the race. Your quest log can hold 25 quests, which we could then turn in once our experience bars got enabled, and I went throughout whole of Outland preparing every high XP quest I could find. After that, the physically hardest part of the prep came when I found out that the game releases at midnight. I knew the race would be a marathon that could last up to 30 hours, and that I had to stay awake and focused for the entirety of the process. So I started slowly changing my sleep schedule so I could wake up close to the release and have my well-rested buff prepared IRL. I finally woke up on the big day an hour before the release. I had a huge meal and coffee, started up my stream, and I got ready to once again step foot into Northrend. My time has come. After waiting around next to the quest givers in Shatra, our experience bars were finally unlocked at midnight. I instantly started turning in everything I paired in advance, and then I heard Mal'Ganis in my head calling me to Northrend. I went onto the Zeppelin and straight into Utgard Keep. Even though I planned for weeks to quest through Borean Tundra and Dragonblight, a few days before the release I heard about the solo Utgard Keep strategy, which only fire mages could do. I watched and studied every video I could find on it, but I unfortunately couldn't practice it as I didn't have the beta. As watching porn doesn't make you any better at sex, I got into the dungeon, did the pull pretty decently, and then this happened. No. Okay, fuck it. No time to cry, we go again. I managed to recover though, I stopped crying, and on the next pull, this happened. I was making a fool out of myself in front of hundreds of people on my stream, but I worked through the pressure, and I went again. My dedication paid off, and on the next pull, I finally got it right. So I learned how to do the first pull finally, but the hardest part of the dungeon was still ahead of me, and I managed to fuck it up again. You see by the footage that I was almost ready to cry by this point. I felt that the years I invested into Warmane and months leading up to release were completely wasted. That I failed to perform under the pressure and that I was a complete loser and failure. But I goddamn kept going. I decided to only go for the first pull until I learn it perfectly, questing and AoE farming while I wait for my instance lockouts to pass, and the XP finally started flying in. Even after all the mistakes I made, I was able to hit level 71 in a bit less than 3 hours, and I finally got into a solid rhythm after that. I kept checking my competition, and when I was close to level 72, I saw that I wasn't that far away from the other mages on my server. This gave me the much needed strength to go on. I kept using the same strategy all the way up to level 74, doing the keep for 5 lockouts and questing in the Howling Fjord while I waited to enter the dungeons again. It was morning already, and even with the race lasting more than 10 hours by this point, I saw that my biggest competitor was only 4 bars ahead of me. Once I hit level 74, I finally moved into the Grizzly Hills. I was the only person in the zone by this point, which meant that I was flying through the quests without any competition. I would still come back to Utgard Keep hourly to do my 5 instances, and soon enough I hit level 75. I knew I had it in the bag by this point, but I couldn't afford to slack. I was only at the halfway mark. I was still making occasional mistakes, but that turned out to be a good thing when I got a big burst of energy from a fellow hater on the stream. Let's go, fuck these war main tards. Imagine that dude fucking cheering against me. Thank you for that. Thank you so much, broski. I will focus up now, and I will fuck you in the ass, as I will this mage as well. I will fuck you so hard. You will get so salty when I get both Realm First Mage and Lock. So thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. I'm gonna make all of Warmain proud, and you're gonna swim in your fucking tears. Thank you for the motivation, broski. With my newfound motivation, I got 76 before you know it. I had another lucky event happen to me when I came back to Grizzly Hills, and I used my expert negotiation skills and streamer privileges to get 2 guys to help me with the group quests in the town. After that I moved into one of my favorite zones, Zuldrak, and I kept up the pressure on my rivals. Now this zone I did countless times, and I know it like the back of my hand, so I was flying through it. Then I got a whisper from a brother mage in my guild that the Brewfest buff is going up, which gives 10% extra XP for 2 hours. So I TP'd to Orgrimmar and I got the huge buff in only a few minutes. The problem with the buff, however, is that it only lasts until you die, which I unfortunately learned quickly enough. I was playing the game for 18 hours by this point, and my level of play and sanity suffered for it. I made a pretty big gap from my competitors, however, at this point, and I again picked myself up and went back to Zuldrak. Again I had a lucky break when I was almost level 77, and I miraculously found a full group that was doing the Zuldrak Amphitheater. Not many things can be compared to the XP you gain from these quests, but they were nowhere in my plans as I just thought I wouldn't have anyone to do them with. The planets aligned with this group, however, and I was almost a third of the way through level 77 once we finished the questline. Why 77 is such an important level is because that's when you can train cold air flying, but first I needed to get to Dalaran to do that. My solution was making a deal with another brother mage I found in global chat half an hour before I hit level 77, and he waited for me with a Dalaran portal in Orgrimmar. Best 500 gold I ever spent. I quickly picked up cold air flying and I flew straight into Sholazar, my zone. Almost every character I have on Warmain I leveled through this place, so even after 20 hours of play with a slowly failing brain, I got up to level 78 in an hour and 40 minutes. Next I went to the Storm Peaks, and by this point I've been playing for around 20 hours. I was pretty exhausted, but I did the zone enough times to where I could autopilot all the way through it, even finishing the Sons of Hodir questline along the way, and soon enough I was level 79. In retrospect, I should have stayed in the Storm Peaks, but I decided to go to Icecrown instead. Even though I was extremely close to the finish line by this point, my body started betraying me, and I was playing extremely sloppy. I had a few very close calls during the quests, and my energy was at an all-time low. I also had a Blood Elf priest chasing me in levels, and he was approaching me very quickly. But then I looked at the chat and saw almost 400 people cheering for me and giving me a spirit bomb. And then this happened. So I think around an hour or more and I'll be there. Hopefully less than an hour. And an hour is nothing. Fucking nothing. Let's wake the fuck up. Nah, no more sleeping, Nev. I'm gonna collect the last atoms of my fucking strength. And we're gonna get this shit finished. We're gonna get it done, boys. Renewed again, I braved on for the last level, constantly at the edge of my seat. And then, after 26 hours of gameplay, I finally got it. So I guess if you were to take any lesson from this video, it's that you shouldn't quit after a few mistakes. Brave on, and if you truly want something, you will eventually get it. Thank you for watching. There's gonna be a lot of Wrath Classic content like this coming out in the next few years, so consider subscribing if you aren't already. I'll see you in the next one. These will be here forever. Fucking forever they will be here.